Join me as I talk with people who express their creativity in ways that can inspire the rest of us to recognize our own creativity. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Marina Galán. Even though it comes from an earlier conversation, it still raises wonderful thoughts about identity, awareness, and our naturally creative minds. I'm so delighted to have the lovely and talented Marina Galán with me. And for those of you who haven't been on this call before, I wanted to do this series because so many people think creativity is a talent that is reserved for the artistic. And I've discovered, and have many of the people on this call also discovered, that creativity is who we are and it's part of our nature. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And Marina, I'm going to read your bio and we'll just see what happens after that. Marina is a coach and consultant in Mexico who works with individuals, groups, and organizations all over the world. And she writes, in the journey to find something that would help people not only improve performance in every area of life, but that would actually help them have a richer and deeper experience of it, I came across a simple yet profound truth about human beings and realized that the main reason why we struggle is that we don't fully understand how our experience of life is created and therefore have no clear idea of how to improve it. Few people realize that our mind is naturally oriented towards well-being, creativity, and success. Even fewer have come to develop a close, fruitful relationship with it. Understanding our mind, knowing how to align with it and its infinite resources, allows us to explore the very depths of our true potential and consequently experience a more vibrant, engaged, fulfilling life. So you offer so many things to people. You offer coaching, mentoring, training, consulting, even mediating. So how about if we just start by taking a look behind the curtain, so to speak. And first of all, what is it about the mind and our experience of life that lends itself to creativity?
Okay. Well, first of all, having me here. Thank you for the invitation. I am enjoying it very, very much already. The finding of the unknown. So, what is it about the mind and creativity? To me, creativity is an absolutely natural and unstoppable process. Like, we cannot escape it. We are always, always, always creating. And somehow it sounds to me like, you know, the world has created this idea of creativity as a specific thing out there that you can get to and you can become good at and you can exercise and you can exploit. But in reality, we miss the fact that creativity is the very essence of our experience. Like, we are in a process of creativity all the time. It is not interrupted. Ever. Not when we are awake, not when we are asleep, not even when we are unconscious. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. So for someone who's never heard what you're just saying now, how would they notice that? How would they begin to notice?
Okay, first of all, let's go back to the beginning.
Oh boy, that's pretty far back.
Okay, so the concept of identity is a created concept in our consciousness. And so on, from the moment we create an identity, we attach to it all sorts of things, like, I am not a creative person. But that in itself is a creation. Do you see? Every decision process that we make is a creative process, regardless of whether we are cheering ourselves on to something or talking ourselves out of something. That is a complete creative process in and out of itself. We reach a decision by creating a whole process to get there. Yes? So, understanding the nature of creativity as it is presenting itself, as it is always happening, opens our eyes to a new reality in which we can actually see in real time our own creations and how that is happening by our mind. So that every experience is being created through us, here and now. And we are inevitably collaborating with that. Inevitably.
So there are no techniques or tools or tips or strategies that make that more evident?
Well, here's the thing. It is so prevalent that it becomes invisible. And so in reality, the only technique, if you want to call it that way, the only possibility to become aware of it is becoming aware of it, noticing it, like just starting to see how it is that it is getting created, realizing that, right? So we tend to believe that our thoughts are ours. Right? Not only ours, we tend to believe that our thoughts are us. And in reality, if you kind of look at it closely, if you observe it closely, you will see that every thought that you have is in reality a thought that is suddenly there, and you are just becoming conscious of it. Like, it is not you who are creating the thought. It is there, and you become aware of it. It is being created in you. Yes?
So I totally, you're preaching to the choir with me. And one of the things that I've seen this most directly, even though it is an artistic reference, is when I'm creating something with paper and paint, or writing something, is that it seems to me that we're much more of a channel than well, not even a channel. I think we can even go further than that. That's who we are, and we're giving it a vessel or a form for it to be expressed.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you see, so here's the thing. If you understand inevitable process of creativity, the natural process of creativity that you are a part of, it becomes such a delight to be able to, the word you used, express it. There is no need to construct anything. There is no need to invent anything. It's just an expression of that creativity that is always happening, and that is especially wanting to happen through us, right? So the way a thought or an idea can be expressed through me is completely different from the way it could be expressed through anyone here. So that in the creation process, we inevitably taint the creation with what is unique in us.
So I have a question here. What's the difference between tainting it and flavoring it? Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not sure I do.
Okay, so tainting it to me has a negative connotation.
Oh, there you go.
Like a filter. I mean, and a flavor is the Marina flavor or the Nina flavor. And it's not necessarily bad, it's just our way of expressing.
Of course, it's not necessarily bad. I think it's interesting that you mentioned that taint, given that it's a completely neutral thing, has a negative connotation to you. So you see the flavor?
Yes, exactly. I'm the guinea pig.
Yeah. So it's you can call it whatever you want. You can call it tainting or flavoring or infusing it even. right? But as long as we are just in, here's the beauty of it, as long as we are in the process of expressing, the starting point of expression is wholeness, is absoluteness. Everything is there to be expressed. You see?
Yeah.
Whereas when you are trying to get something or get somewhere, the starting point is a place of lack. It's a place of attaining. Do you see?
Yes.
But
Yes.
when you are expressing, and this is true not only in the arts, this is true in sports, in relationships, in games, in everything. When you begin the journey from a place of wholeness and completeness, only expression is possible.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of the Sufi understanding of life, like where the Sufis realize that everything is complete, the whole process is complete, and we're just remembering. And so there is nothing left to do except celebrate. And the way they celebrate is through expressing art. So every Sufi is an artist, poets and painters and musicians and all sorts of things. But their only goal is expressing that wholeness, that completeness, through the never-ending process of creativity that we are involved in. Even their dance is a whole symbolism of the process of creation, where they hold one hand up to receive and the other hand down to give. And the whole path is through the heart. You see the flavor and the infusion?
Yes.
And they tilt their heads to the side so that the ego doesn't get too much in the way, so the rational doesn't get too much in the way. And they spin as a metaphor of this possibility of creation. It's a bit of a paradox, understanding ourselves as both the creatures and creators.
So can I take this conversation back to what you had said earlier about creativity and identity and how we create our identity? And so many people are on a spiritual quest to find themselves or realize themselves. And it seems to me this understanding that you're sharing is such a 180-degree change, because so many people think that we have to create it, we have to make it happen, we have to do practices to be who we really are, rather than to understand that we already are who we are. And again, it's, you put it with the Sufi analogy, that's, we're always expressing it.
So you see, who we really are is prior to identity. Identity is our first creation. And from the moment of that creation, then even our perception of life and the world is somehow filtered through that eye, through that first creation of identity. But if you look at the development of any human being and you go before identity, you will see that there is experience happening. There is emotion, there is expression, there is creativity. All things are happening already. But then identity is created. And then every experience starts becoming attached to that identity. But identity is just a story. It's the story that we tell ourselves about who we are. But that's all it is. There's no solidity to it. Like right now, identity only exists in your mind. That's it.
So stop the search, stop the identity creation, and see what's really there.
Well, I wish it were that simple. I wish it were that simple, Nina, but here's the thing. Creation of identity, creation of concepts, creation of belief is not preventable. It happens, and we only become aware of it once it has happened. So we cannot prevent it, right? But we can become aware of it and then give it away. Yes?
So it all comes down to becoming more conscious, noticing more.
Well, yeah. That is why consciousness is the big game changer. Noticing more what is happening as it is happening. You know, you start catching on to it faster. I was recently part of and at least a couple of people here have heard this story, but I was recently part of a conversation about forgiveness. And as we were gathering, we were asked, everything you already know about forgiveness, please don't bring it to the table. Every experience you already had about forgiveness, just leave it out. Let this be a completely creative exploration, right? So everybody was kind of quiet and not really knowing what to say. And so we had to wonder, you know, like, well, if forgiveness isn't what I know about it, what could it be? What else could it be? And the exploration began, and people started, you know, dropping all these amazing ideas that were coming to their minds. And we were all so excited, like seeing this concept come to life before our eyes. And it was mind-blowing, you know, forgiveness as an interpersonal thing in which we were guiding each other. It was beautiful. And after the conversation was over, I found myself, you know, the rest of the afternoon revisiting my life through a new understanding of forgiveness and saying, oh yes, that makes sense. That was absolutely beautiful. And now I could, and at some point, I saw it. I saw that my mind was creating a new concept about what forgiveness was. And I laughed at myself because I realized that if I kept it from then on, that would need to be my experience of forgiveness. And if I was having a different experience, I would not be able to call it forgiveness. I would not allow myself to forgive. Do you see?
Yes.
And so I thanked my mind for the beautiful process it was bringing, but I gave away the concept immediately. And in that moment, I realized that every single experience of forgiveness I have had in my life has been completely different to the next one. Completely different. And I realized that forgiveness, like pretty much everything else, is something that can only happen now. And it requires radical presence. If you give away all your concepts, all your beliefs, everything, and you just become present to the moment, you will read the moment in a completely different way. And the moment will inform your wisdom how to deal with it. And so your wisdom will guide you through the moment in the most elegant, gracious, beautiful way possible. Mm-hmm. But there is a need to give away, cleanse ourselves of our concepts, of our beliefs, of becoming empty so that the new can come through us.
So there's that image of the Sufi with the taking in and the the letting go at the same time.
Yeah. I'm remembering a story now. My cousin heard there was an amazing, very old carpenter hidden in the Mayan jungle. And she went and got a piece of wood and brought it with her, took it to the carpenter and asked him to make a table. But she wanted the table, you know, like this and like that, and this were the measures and this was the shape. And the old carpenter smiled at her and said, "Thank you, come back in a couple of weeks." And when she came back, she found a completely different table and she was really upset. Like, what the hell? This is not the table I asked for. And the Mayan carpenter smiled and said, "No, this is what it asks for." And they had this exchange of, no, 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 what do you mean it asked for? I am the client. I am asking for something completely different. And the carpenter said, "Well, if you wanted a table like that, you should have brought me a piece of wood that asked for that." You see?
That's perfect.
But do you see the radical presence of the carpenter?
Yeah.
Sitting in absolute conversation with a piece of wood.
Yeah.
To reach a much deeper understanding of what was possible, of what wanted to come through, of what wanted to be created through him and this piece of wood coming together. But we go back to that. Empty yourself of concepts. Become absolutely present. And see what it asks for.
Yes.
It being the table, the piece of wood, the person in front of you, your partner, your art creation, or whatever. Just become fully present. And here's the thing, when we become fully present and empty, it's very confusing to the rational mind, because the role of the rational mind is to control and plan, you know, and keep you safe. So we are very drawn to that sense of safety that can bring the known to the rational mind. But if you observe, again, the development of a human being, you will see that we are perfectly designed to thrive in the unknown. Like, look at a baby. They know nothing. They are in absolute trust of life and the universe and whoever is in front of them. And they thrive. They are just completely empty and exposed and happy.
Yeah.
They are in experience of the essence of well-being. We are explorers by nature. But the nature of exploration is not in the realm of the known. It is, by definition, in the realm of the unknown. And that is where we thrive. We just don't know it. And so we exchange that for the comfort of an illusion of control from the rational mind.
Yeah.
We limit our life until we are only in relationship to concept and not in relationship to life.
Yeah.
And so we are so constrained that we become bored suddenly. And, you know, we live, the persons, that's sort of the persons around us, we are not present to them. We have an idea of who they are, and that is what we are in relationship with. Yeah. And then when we do something completely out of that, we get upset and we get mad, and this is so unlike you, you know, and what about my expectations? Yeah. No, this person in front of you is not the same person that was in front of you last week. Just like the tree outside your window is not the same tree that was there last week. But you have entered a relationship with a concept and not with life. You have lost presence and you have lost your freedom. in the name of an illusion of control and comfort that is on top of that, not real.
It's such a wonderful exploration that you're sharing with us. And, you know, we can see it so much around us where everything becomes transactional. It's a checklist. It's not alive. And I think only when any of us get to the point where we're saying, really, is this it? Is this all that's here for me? That can be the springboard into a whole new way of living life, and realizing that all of the baggage that we've been carrying with us, all the way we thought things should be or people should be or behave, is irrelevant, and it's getting in our way of allowing that question of what wants to come through, what wants to be expressed, which are two of my favorite questions.
Absolutely. But you see, so concepts cannot be expressed because they're dead already. They are fixed already.
Yeah.
So how can that come to life in a creation that needs to happen now? It can't. It would be just a repetition of a repetition of a repetition.
Right. So I've been reading a book called The Highest Goal by Michael Ray. And the tagline of the book is "The secret that sustains you in every moment." And I think that's actually a tagline for this conversation.
Maybe. It may be. But you see, Nina, the interesting thing about getting trapped in your own world of concepts and becoming bored by that and stale. You get to that point of, really? Is this all there is? And then you become like a extreme experience junkie. You go looking for more. You need, I don't know, bungee jumping or sabotaging a relationship or any of the above, instead of just becoming present to the magnificence of life now and rediscovering the tree and rediscovering the person in front of you and rediscovering yourself and forgiveness and breakfast and anything, flavors,
Yeah.
whatever. And in this becoming conscious of what we are doing to ourselves as we enclose our lives to this concept world,
Yeah.
we realize that we are ultimately free. Absolutely, irrevocably free. We are so free that we are free to engage ourselves in a world of concept and thought. That is how free we are. That blows my mind. Like, you want to do this to yourself? Sure. The skies will never open and a finger will never come out of it saying, that is not the right way to suffer. You can do it the way you want. And the entire universe is contemplating you in absolute respect. Talk about creation, right?
I was just going to underscore that word: creation, creativity, permission, freedom.
It's the essence of everything. But we are free to create shackles and prisons and whatever.
And heavens and, yeah.
Yeah, we can create hell.
And we often do.
We often do. Yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
And so, come to terms with the fact that you are the creator of your experience in any given moment. Just because you attached yourself to a concept and held it as truth makes it absolutely ridiculous. And so this idea of giving it away for me, it has become the very essence of offering. I offer the creation of my mind in exchange for a new experience.
For life.
I offer myself in exchange for the unknown.
That is a good trade.
And think about it. And I was discussing this yesterday with someone. Everything you know has gotten you here, but it can't take you any further. If you want to go further, you have to look at what you don't know. And the best way to do that, truly, fully, is to let go of what you know. Because otherwise, what you know becomes the filter through which the unknown can touch you.
Yeah.
Through which life can touch you. And we are missing so much through those filters, those unconscious filters.